Hey, welcome everybody. This is David Allen with EFS, Elevated Facility Services Group. We're here today in lovely Atlanta, Georgia to be able to do a modernization of a hydraulic unit and a traction elevator to be able to show all the sales folks out there how to go ahead and put together a survey exactly the way that our operations department needs it. Before you go out in the field, make sure you have the proper PPE. You know, we want to make sure we have personal protection equipment when we walk out, and we're taking safety number one. Number one, guys. The most important thing is make sure we all go home. Right, Corey?
Absolutely. Hey guys, I'm Corey Prater, the mod manager out of the Atlanta office. Today we're going to review several items that we would be looking for when we're out doing a survey, initial survey on the elevator. We're going to start at this particular floor, which is the lowest floor for this elevator, so let's just jump right into it. We would want to take note of the entrance style and the entrance finish. Here we have a number 4 stainless finish. We could take note of that. That way, if it calls in the specifications for any type of cladding to this entrance, we would have measurements of this entrance and know the finish, so we could get that priced accordingly. Second thing we would like to take note of would be the fixtures at this floor. Could be hall stations, as seen here, could be lanterns or whatnot above the elevator. We would want to take note of all of those. This particular unit here is a simplex unit with one riser, and it is a surface mount fixture type. They have flush mount fixtures which are mounted directly into the wall surface. This particular fixture mounts on top of the wall itself. This is a simplex unit like I discussed. If it was a duplex or a 3-car group, 4-car group, we would want to take note of how many risers or hall stations we have for that, so we can price that accordingly. We'll look at some more elevators throughout this to show you hall stations and lanterns as well. But next thing I'd like to jump into is the door type and size of the door. So, you know, always have your little tape measure. We'd want to take note of this door opening size. This particular door opening size is 36 inches. And then we would take note of the height as well. And this particular door opening height is 84 inches. So now we know our door dimensions, width and height. The next thing that you would need to know is what type of door. You have multiple varieties of doors out here. This particular one is called a single speed door. There's 2-speed doors, there's center opening doors, there's 3-speed doors, which we will try and get some of those as well to show, but this particular one here is a single speed door. So I'm gonna pop this door open. We'll verify that we've got this thing locked out, okay? I'm pushing my call button, make sure that this elevator is not gonna come down when I got this door open. No calls being registered, so we'll break this lock now and open the pit. All right guys, so as you can see, we've jumped down into the pit. Want to talk about all the equipment down here in the pit that we would be looking at during a survey and wanting to take note of, so that we know the scope that will be covered during the mod of this equipment. So I'm just going to start right off here to my right. We would want to take pictures of the pit ladder, stop switch, the switch for our 120 for our cab light, or for our lighting down here in the pit. As you can see, this particular unit has taken on a little bit of water and some rust. So this was a good example for us because, you know, obviously we want to make sure we note all of that with the pit channels, the buffers, the spring buffers and everything, the rust on the bottom of the rails, all that's going to need to be cleaned up. So we want to get good pictures of all of this. Typically we'll see spring style buffers or oil style buffers. When you see a spring buffer, you know that this particular car is less than 200 foot a minute. Anything with an oil buffer is going to be more than 200 foot a minute. Make sure we get good pictures of those in case those are part of our scope of work for replacement. The pit ladder must extend 42 inches above the hull seal. So this particular one has been extended and meets that code, but that would be something to take note of. The stop switch, take note of its location so we can know what we need to do there to get replaced. Obviously this one here, our light is missing, so we would want to get pictures of that so we could redo our lighting down here in the pit. We'll clean the rails up on this particular car where the rust and everything has gotten into them, where water has stood in this pit before. So I'm just going to kind of ease around and work my way around. Here we have our plug-in for our sump pump, which is directly right here behind me with the grate. Take pictures of that. Make sure we have a grate that's covering this particular unit. Here we would need a little bit of work with our sump pump to be able to recess everything down and get that sump grate back on top so that it's not a tripping hazard. Right behind us on this car, this is a traction car, so we would have our counterweight rails and our counterweights and our counterweight frame. 9 times out of 10, this entire thing here would stay with us. A lot of times there is not a cover for the counterweight, so we would want to get a good picture of this if there was no cover. That way we know that that's something that we would need to take care of and address. We do have to counterbalance the car a lot of times once we add cab interiors or whatnot, but you know, as far as direct replacement, 9 times out of 10, this still stays with us during a mod. I'm gonna just work my way on around here. We have our governor tail sheave here, which we always replace, so we'll look at that governor and surveying that governor more up in the machine room. This is just the lower half of it that counterbalances that rope as it moves with the car when the car is moving. And then again, you know, just the buffers here. These are spring style buffers. This is the buffer channel down here, and all of this on this particular car we would look to replace with all the rust. All right, so we've jumped down in the pit. Just want to run through all the items down here that we'll be looking for when we're doing our survey. The pit ladder here, want to get a good picture of that. We got our stop switch here, our switch for our light in the pit up top. Get a good picture of this. A lot of this would be covered in our work by others section, but we always want to get good pictures of this so we know what we're working with. The pit ladder itself has got to be 42 inches above the seal. This one you can see here has been adjusted and added onto to meet that requirement. We would be looking to replace that stop switch and our switch up top for our cab light, or for our pit light, I apologize. Pit light will be down here along the bottom. Then you have a 120 that's going to feed our sump pump down here below us to the bottom left. So buffers, this is a spring style buffer. Pit channel, bottom of the rails, you can see this particular car here has held some water over the years and rusted up some of this equipment. So we would clean these rails down really good, replace the pit channels which sit on top of the pit, replace these spring buffers, take care of all of this down here. Spring buffers, if you see spring buffers, you know automatically that this particular car is 200 foot a minute or less. Oil buffers would indicate that car being a faster speed, which would be 200 foot per minute or higher. We can just kind of ease our way to the back wall here. Counterweight rack, counterweight rails, counterweight fascia to cover that rail stack when it comes down. There's a buffer, same style buffer in the bottom down here behind this fascia. 9 times out of 10, counterweight rails, counterweights themselves, the frame, if you do have a fascia cover, all that is typically retained. A lot of times we have to adjust the weight to account for any cab interior balancing or whatnot, but most of this is just cleaned up, painted, and retained. But again, we'd have to refer to the specs for each individual job. Sump pump down here in the floor. Want to make sure that we get good pictures of that so we know what kind of work we might have cut out for us as far as putting a grate so that it's flush, not a tripping hazard. We have our drain line here that would pump water out. You know, indications here in this particular pit, at some point that pump was not working properly, and we did get some water in here. So very important, you know, you got a good working sump pump. it will alleviate a lot of your issues with water if you do get water in the pit. So, but that would be one thing we'd want to get a picture of and make sure we got that squared away on this job.